Okay, yes, coming down to the final session, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your coffee or tea. Okay, now let's go on. We are going to fight for the final run, all right, before we end our session here today. If you have any questions, you know who to ask. Because next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about ABIS for law enforcement, criminal investigation demo. This is going to be interesting. And with that, we are going to ride on the similar focus and also the same way of doing it. We are going to conduct a demonstration. With that being said, Kapusta, sorry. Matus Kapusta. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Matus, our Business Unit Director of ABIS Innovatrix, to come on stage to show us how is it done. Thank you, Matus.
Thank you for a nice introduction. Welcome. I'm glad to see you again. So the second session will be related to the law enforcement with the focus on criminal investigation. Before I will do the demo, I will like to give you a quick presentation about what our criminal ABIS does and what is the difference between criminal and civil identification solution. So we have the big ABIS family. You can see the schematic picture here. Inside there is a matching cluster. Matching cluster is common for both civil and criminal identification. There are three modalities that we support inside. We can do fingerprint, face, and iris recognition. Of course, we have different types of algorithms for slow and accurate identification with a latent fingerprint collected from crime scene, or 10-print to 10-print identification, where the priority is the speed. Over the cluster, we have our so-called business modules, and we have the modules which are common to our both criminal and civil worlds. So the user interface, they share the database, we have a comparison tool, and the common administration and monitoring. But then we have the modules which are more focused on a civil identification. The demo you could see that my colleagues were doing in a previous presentation, where we can do the remote identity verification, civil enrollment, identity management, and so on. And then we have a different world, the world of law enforcement with the focus on criminal investigation. For this domain, we have a dedicated solution which consists of multiple modules. So the first module is criminal enrollment, or criminal booking, or suspect booking, how we call it. That's the way, that's the module where we are able to enroll criminal suspect to the system. Then we have another module for suspect identification. We can do different type of identification. So we can do 10-print to 10-print. We can do 10-print to rolled print. We can do latent print to 10-print, or even latent to latent. That's for the fingerprints. Then we can also do face in video identification. So we can grab the photo from the video and do it for and search the people who are enrolled in the database. And then we have a DNA. So we can have a DNA sample and use it for identification. So we can identify a kinship, for example. So somebody is my cousin or brother or mother. Then we have another module which is a case management. That's an optional module which help police to organize the evidence which are belonging to one case, to a logical unit. So we can put all the data belonging to one case under one roof. And then there is another tool which is very important, and that's the latent fingerprint editor. Because the fingerprints which are collected from the crime scene are not, sometimes they are, but usually they are not directly usable for identification. So we have to modify them. We have to enhance what we see. we have to adjust the resolution so it's compliant for identification. Sometimes we have to invert the colors. So we have some kind of fingerprint Photoshop tool that we called latent fingerprint editor. I will start my demo session with the enrollment. What is the difference between civil and criminal enrollment? Usually, when we do the civil enrollment, we use the live scan. We do a 442 or 4411 for the fingerprints, and we take one facial photo, and eventually we take also we capture irises. For criminal enrollment, it's a little bit different. For the fingerprints, our goal is to capture as larger area of the fingerprint as possible, because we don't know which area of the fingerprint our criminal will touch the surface. So that's why, as you can see on this image, we are capturing so-called rolled fingerprints, which are covering a much larger area than so-called slab fingerprints or plain fingerprints. But we capture also rolled and slab. And the way how we capture it can be different. We can use fingerprint scanners. This is called live enrollment. Or we can use ink and paper. Maybe it looks like an obsolete method, but still nowadays, even in US, even in our country, in Slovakia, ink and paper is still one of the most common methods how to acquire the fingerprints. Why it is so? Because it's very cheap and you don't need the special equipment. So you can do it even in the local police office. So you can have as many enrollment places as you want. That's also a traditional method how the fingerprints used to be kept in those big databases at FBI in the past. I would say still the majority of records, even nowadays, are kept in this form somewhere in archives. Of course, they are digitized for ABIS processing. Then we have a photo, and here we don't take a passport photo, but we try to capture mugshot photo, which is slightly different. You can see one of the most famous mugshots captured in the history, which is Pablo Escobar and his mugshot. And then we are able also to collect scars, marks, and tattoos. We do not match them, but we can store them in the system and use them for identification using operators annotation. We are implementing NIST standards there. Once we have captured records of criminal suspects, or even we can capture civil records in the system, then we can use them for live identification. Here we have some example about how different it can look. So you have a suitcase over there. You can use that also for a mobile enrollment or for a mobile identification. Then we have a handheld, which can be used, for example, on the border control, on the road checkpoint, or in the train. When the train is going through the border, this will be a very comfortable way how to do the fingerprint screening at the border, because you cannot have the big fixed setup there. And yeah, and over there we have just some example about what different devices can be used for enrollment and identification. Now I will do the demo, and in this demo I will show you live enrollment of fingerprints and palm prints, and also I will show you how to do a field identification using a mobile handheld device. So please wrong with my demo. Okay. If you can switch the screen to the demo, perfect. And now I will need some criminal, so I would like to invite my criminal on the stage. And I will try to do the enrollment. So first of all, I will show you how the criminal records look like. So in here we have the list of criminal records which were previously enrolled in the system. I will show you some example how the criminal record looks like. This is apparently a Mexican criminal, which is actually our representative for South America. He has been enrolled the criminal way, so we can see that we have all types of fingerprints enrolled: slap, rolled, plain, palm prints, irises, signature, and also a tattoo. Pardon. And the birth certificate. We can also attach different documents which can help us. Yeah. Okay, I hope you can hear me. So now let's do the enrollment. In this demo we have different types of enrollment. I can enroll a civil record, criminal record, or scan or import the data from fingerprint card. So I will start the enrollment. So now I will try to capture a criminal record. So I have to adjust my setup a little bit. Okay. So please come a bit closer. Okay, now perfect. She's almost 2 meters tall. Yeah. Unfortunately, our flip chart is not the police version of the. But of course, normally it will be set up properly. So let's capture the face. We still use ICAO parameters to check the facial quality. Of course, they are not ideal because this is not ideal setup. We are here on stage, and normally you will do this with a proper environment, with the proper lighting and everything. Then the quality of the face will be better. This is important. The better the quality of how well you will do the enrollment will have a significant impact on the overall accuracy of the system. So we try to help enrollment as smooth and as easy as possible because it has significant impact on the overall accuracy of the system. So we can also capture the profile photo here. So please turn. Thank you. Okay. Crop and then half profile. Up. Just it. Normally I am here quite fast, but when the police is doing this job, they have more time for this, so they can really take a proper photo without with the proper background and proper qualities. In this system, we also have irises. This is something really new. I have been to a conference in the United States in August, and FBI actually presented a new interface for iris recognition. So they are already collecting also irises, and they offer to the US police officers to use iris also for identification. There are some use cases when iris can provide very fast and accurate identification, so they also collect irises. This is something new in a criminal domain. So please proceed with the iris scan. We are using various types of iris scanner. This device, it's from CMI Tech. It's a very affordable device. It's a contact device, but it might be like 6 times cheaper than the fancy contactless device that you have seen before. For the criminal use case, you don't really care about the contact and contactless scenarios. So let's continue with the fingerprints. In here we have a scanner which is quite big. It's from a company which doesn't exist anymore. It's called Greenbit. It has been acquired by Thales, but we can support any vendor which is able to produce the standard so-called certified fingerprint images. So it's FBI which is certifying those devices. So once the device is certified, you can be sure that it will produce a good quality fingerprint images that can be used then in ABIS. So we do not provide fingerprint scanners. We work with the third-party scanner providers. So please proceed with the right slab. Yeah. So keep going. Yeah. Now, okay. Done. So what we can see here, the fingerprints were successfully captured. We are measuring 4 different qualities. 2 qualities are by NIST. NIST, and it's an American Institute for Standardization and Technology, and they have their own algorithms, which we have integrated to evaluate the quality of the fingerprints. This is very important for interoperability, because if you are using this quality, you can be sure that if you will take ABIS from Innovatrix or from whoever, this quality will always be the same. And then on the right side, you have a letter C, which is something we call placement. We try to evaluate how well is the fingerprint placed on the scanner. So we try to capture the middle part of the fingerprints. And if we think it's not a middle part, we will assign the letter E or F. If it's a middle part, we try to assign A, B, and C and D, something in between. Then we have also a proprietary quality, which reflects how good the fingerprint is for Innovatrix algorithm. It correlates with the NIST quality, but it's not full correlation. So please go with the left hand. Okay, 2 fingers. Okay, you could see the warning 2 few fingers. If she will not present try it, please. Okay, now we are fine. If she will not present all 4 fingerprints, or she will place a right hand instead of the left hand, the system will not capture automatically the fingerprints and will give the operator the warning that the hand position is not appropriate or fingerprints are missing, and then operator has to override the enrollment manually and have to capture fingerprints one by one, because sometimes it happens, especially in a crime scene, that you have not all 10 fingerprints. So now we will capture thumbs. Thank you. Thumbs are always the best. And we will continue with the roll fingerprints. In this scenario is quite cooperative scenario, but a trained police staff can do this job even with the handcuffs on the back. Yeah. But now we don't want to make it violent here, so please. Okay, nice roll print. Yeah, we can see the quality is very nice. So please continue with the index finger. Nice. And the middle one. Okay. You can do the same job. Continue. You can do the same job also with a smaller fingerprint, but we use this fingerprint because this one is also certified for the palm prints. Not everywhere they are collecting the palm prints, but we wanted to show also the palm prints here, so that's why we have brought this big device which is also certified for palm prints. Okay. I will skip the left hand because you will not see anything new, and I will go directly on palm prints. So, because the palm is pretty large, we are not able to capture it at once. So the standard approach is that we are capturing the palm in 3 steps: upper palm, bottom palm, and writer's palm. So first we will start with upper palm. No, sorry, she's not obeying my orders now, like this. Not a good criminal, yeah? Now we have the upper part. And now you can go with the bottom part. Yeah. The bottom part is always difficult, so you don't have to afraid to press a little bit, yeah, to have a good image, especially if it's a criminal. You don't afraid, yeah. Okay. Sometimes it's difficult, yeah, but now it works. And the last one is the writer's palm. Okay, not the best placement, but I think it's good for the demo purpose. So I will also skip the left hand because it will be more or less the same. And then we have the screen with the personal information. I don't have time to fill all this, so I will just indicate it's a female and Andy, so that we can easily recognize her later on. Okay, the last screen is the overview, so I can have a look again on the screen with all the qualities, and if I am not happy, I can go back, change something, modify, edit, recapture, whatever, but now I will submit the record to the system, and this is a web-based interface. So even the system is running on the server, it can be used from any police station which has access to the server. You only need internet, and of course we would recommend intranet and VPN for the security purpose. Okay, so enrollment is completed, and now we can have a look how does it look like on the server side. So it has been already processed, and here the processing is exactly the same like with the civil ABIS. The record has been identified as a duplicate, and why it is so? Because she is not new to us. She has been already enrolled before because she probably committed some crimes. So now we want to bring those records together. So let's have a look what we have here. Okay, she is already there. So we can have a look to the details. We can see that here it's no discussion. It's like 100% match. Of course, I can use the same tools as Matus has displayed for facial comparison or iris comparison and fingerprint comparison. But in here, I can put those records together, so I can either update the previous record with the new one or archive this one under the previous one. So I will update it, and I will keep them together. Okay, this is another unresolved case, but I will not spend my time with this guy. So the next thing we would like to show you is live identification. So she has been already enrolled in the system. So now I can use this device. Now we need a camera, yeah. So I have this device, which is actually a mobile device, which can be used by the police in the field or by the border control. And if I have somebody of unknown identity, I can use this device for instant identification. So I will use identification. I can choose if it's fingerprints or face. So I will start with a face identification. So what I will do now, I will take a picture of her. Okay, it's selfie, no selfie, yeah. So I hope you can see something, yeah. Up, yeah, found 87, it's pretty high score. So she was identified immediately, and it will work exactly the same regardless if the database size is 1,000 or 10 million. System is very fast and can match, I don't know, around 200 million records per second per server. Yeah, this is on-server matching actually. Yeah, so it went to the server and back. And here I have 2 records of her. So the one which was enrolled before, and the one which was enrolled now. Yeah. So Now, I will do the same with the fingerprints. In some use cases, this might be the case. So please, once again, this device is sometimes not listening to me. I will not touch it. Okay, this is only happening during the live demo. Actually, the device is not our product, but yeah, sometimes it's hard. Okay. Let's wait for the fingerprints to appear. Once again. Okay, so I will do it myself. Maybe it will be better. Yeah. So, am I enrolled there? Actually, I don't know. I didn't test it. So, identification in progress. We go to the server and back. Okay, yeah, I'm there. So, 100% match, and I have 5 matches. So, I already been enrolled 5 times, so I'm even bigger criminal than she is. Yeah. So, we can search the records by face, fingerprint, or even iris. So, thank you. And now, if you can turn on back my presentation. Now we have the enrollment done, and we would like to explain you how we can do a criminal identification. So on this picture, you can see the criminal identification workflow as it is implemented in our ABIS. What we have demonstrated right now was this part. So here we have a suspect. We can enroll fingerprint, palm prints, faces, DNA, whatever, and do the criminal enrollment. So now we did this part, and the record has been enrolled. We do a duplicate check, bring the records together, and so on. But then there is another part, which is a criminal investigation part. So what we would like to do now is bring the evidence to the ABIS, which can be either a latent fingerprint, video evidence, DNA, or something else, like, for example, document, or scars, marks, and tattoos. Then we will do the evidence analysis. So we will have to do some image normalization. We can do some image enhancement. We can work with so-called minutia points, which are used for fingerprint identification. Or we can enhance the face photo using contrast, brightness, or color profile changing. And then we can run identification and analyze the results. In this demo that I will show you, it will be quite straightforward job. But in real life, there are some cases where police forensic examiners are working with them for weeks or even months. I have heard a story that there was one examiner who was trying to get the fingerprint out of the banknote for 3 months to successfully convict the criminal. Yeah. So usually they have a lot of cases, and the better the tool is, it can save their time, and if they have a good tools and good algorithms, they can solve more crimes. So it's important how good the accuracy is of the system, and how well is system easy to use for the police officer. So what I will show you now is the latent print editor. What is latent print editor? It's some kind of Photoshop, but for fingerprints. This is a built-in tool in our criminal ABIS, and it will allow you to do the operations with the fingerprints. Of course, you can use also a Photoshop if you want, and then bring the fingerprint to the system. But if you don't want to use a Photoshop, you can use this tool, and it will allow you to do most common operations, like cropping the fingerprint, set up the correct DPI, because the system operates in 500 DPI. So if you take a photo of the fingerprint in field, you have to have a ruler so that you can adjust the DPI to a proper 500 value. Then sometimes you need to correct a perspective. If the photo of the fingerprint is taken from the angle and not directly from the top, you have to adjust the angle so it looks like a plain photo of the fingerprint. And then you can define the area of interest manually, or you can change the contrast, brightness, invert the colors, or change correct the histogram, for example. Yeah. I don't want to go through all the tools now, because it will take us 2 hours, the full demo. So I will show you only just the basic operation. And for this purpose, I have prepared a demo with a device which is from a company called Forenscope. It is our partner. It's a Turkish company. We work with them because we like the way how they operate. For a demo with a latent fingerprint, normally I will need a powder and I will get dirty, and I don't like it. And it's quite complicated to successfully repeat such a demo with the powder and the latent fingerprint. But with this device, what can we do? We can get the fingerprint from almost any surface without a powder, because this device has a magic tool which is called a multispectral camera, which can get the fingerprints under different light spectra, from UVC, UVB, UVA, through visible spectra and infrared. They provide a full training where they will explain you which spectra is for which surface. I know that ultraviolet is good for glass and paper. So what we will do now, I will try to show you how it works on a crime scene. So now I need my forensic expert, which will welcome him, please, and he will capture the fingerprint directly from the crime scene. So now we will try to use that high-tech device to get the latent print from the crime scene. We will upload it to the ABIS. Then we will analyze it and use for search, and then we will confirm the match if the hit is found. So please, can you put the camera on screen? Yeah, so you can see that there is some fingerprint over there. It's barely visible, but if you will have a look to the device, you will see that pattern is pretty well. Now, what you can see is the visualization under the UV light. If you will look at that, I think it's a mirror, you will not see the pattern. So you need this UV light to bring up the fingerprint on the screen. And now you can do the same way like with the iPhone. Just capture the photo and send it to ABIS. So when the quality is good, he can play with the light intensity, with the focus, and once you can also change the different light specters. It's directly on the device. So now the quality is pretty good, even if it doesn't look like on the projector screen, but I think it's good enough. So now he decided it's good enough, and he will capture it directly on the crime scene, and we will try to do an instant search. So he will upload it immediately through the ABIS. So the use case is that he has a online access, because there is a mobile signal there on the crime scene. So he will upload it. So now we can see the list of evidences, and we can upload it to the ABIS. Yeah. So I think it's the number 24. Yeah. So, upload is done. Okay. So now I will go to my ABIS. So now I am in the back office, and I will help him. So thank you. And I'm going back to my criminal investigation module. So please, yeah, exactly. And I have my case here, which is the Biocon Malaysia. And here I have some samples that I have collected during this presentation. So let's have a look on this one. Okay, not the best, but okay. We will try to do the maximum with this one. So it's pretty dark. So I need to do some adjustments so that I can find it in the ABIS. So I will edit it before I will put it to the ABIS. So I will try to crop the area of interest here, here, here. Okay. Now I have to adjust the DPI. Because the fingerprint has a higher DPI than 500, I have to rescale it. And how to do this? I have a DPI tool here, and I have a ruler here. So I can see here, I will indicate to my system that, okay, this is what I think is 1 centimeter. I know it because the ruler is certified. So, actually my image is having 800 DPI. So, using the ruler, I will rescale it to 500 DPI. Actually, you don't see anything, but the image has been rescaled on the background. Now, what can I do? I can define the area of interest. So, let's use the mask tool, and I will define where my fingerprint is. So, here, somewhere, yeah? I can use also automatic detection, but let's do the manual for now. So this one is not good area. I can cut it off like this. Yeah. So what's wrong with these fingerprints? It's inverted. Normally, the ridges should be black and the valleys should be white. Here is the opposite because it's the combination of ultraviolet light and the mirror which was used. So I will use the tool which will invert the colors. So now I have a nice, or not so nice, but yeah, quite nice. Maybe it doesn't look nice on the big screen, but I can tell you that for a latent fingerprint, this is a very nice image. And I can use the tool to detect a minutia points. Hop. So I found some minutia points. And if I'm not happy, I can remove some. For example, this one is on the edge and it's not good, so let's remove it. I don't like it. Yeah. And I will save the picture and let's see what we can get out of the ABIS. So let's identify. Okay, no candidates found. I will so probably I did something wrong in the editing. Let's try it once again. So I will use another picture, which captured before. Yeah, this one. I did more or less the same editing. And yeah, it was taken from a different surface, from the paper. You can see the line here. And I have here a successful identification. So in this case, we can see that the left thumb is matching fingerprint. And I have identified 2 records here because she has been enrolled twice. Yeah. I can go back to the previous case and redo the editing until I will find a hit. That's a normal way how the operators work. They work with the fingerprints until they can be sure that there is no hit, and or they will find the hit. I will show you how to analyze the fingerprint now. I can go to the details and I can have a look on the minutia points. So I can click on the minutia point so the fingerprint will adjust the position, and the trained operator can see if it matches or not and can mark this as a hit. Up. So for me, it's a clear hit because the score is high and I see the match here. And sorry, if I will go back to my investigation module, I can see that there was a hit, and and it was flagged as identified. So here I have the link to the criminal, and I can have a look on the report. Yeah, and I can print it, for example, for testimonial at court. So that's for latent print identification. And now, please, let's go back to my presentation. Now, in our criminal case management, we don't have only the fingerprints, but you can also process the faces. And we have two ways how you can process the faces. Either you have a facial photo, that's the easy way. So you just upload the photo and search with the photo in the ABIS, or you can upload the video. So that you don't have to edit the video yourself, we have the module which is called Video Management Module. This module will automatically process the video and will identify the faces which are in the video, and then the operator can select the face and search in the ABIS. What is very important to say that we have a product which is able to analyze the videos faster than real time. So, for example, if you have a sequence of 8 hours, for example, you can upload it to the system, and the system will process it, I don't know, maybe in 30 minutes, because it will internally cut off the video and process it simultaneously. This is very important because when the crime happens, well, the most important are the first hours after the crime. So if you have a lot of video footage, the system will allow the criminal investigators to analyze the footage as soon as possible. The old way, how they did it, they were really watching it like, okay, in the speed mode, and we see the face of interest, they cut it off and try to find it in a face recognition system. With our system, this can be done automatically. There is also a tool which will help us to slightly adjust the face, and we can also define the area. So, for example, if there is a half of my face which is dark, I can increase the contrast only on the dark side of my face. So, this is how the video investigation model looks like. So what we have here, this is actually a very nice video from the Capitol attack when Mr. Trump lost election, and this is publicly available. So we have uploaded it to the system, and we have tried to enroll and identify those people which appear on the video. So you can see the list of people which were identified, and only the one which has a nickname Roman Soldier has been enrolled, so he has been automatically identified by the system. Now I will show you the live demo. So I will not now shoot the video because it will take time. So I already have some prepared video that I shot yesterday, and I will show you how to locate the face in the video, and I will try to identify the face from the video in the ABIS. So if you can please switch to my demo, I will go to back to my investigation case. And I have two videos here. Yeah. So let's try to play my video. Perfect. So now I can see what I can see there. Right now, that's the video where 3 people were identified, and just 2 of them are enrolled in my system. So this one is unknown guy, and those are 2 usual suspects. So I will play the video. I can play it in a speed mode, and you can see that once somebody will appear in the video, we have a track here. Yeah, and then, oh, criminal comes from the back. The system identified him. So then you can use a quick shortcut. So I can go to this guy, double click, and he has been located. And I can go to this one here, this one here. Yeah. So of course, in the real life, the video will be much longer. I can use the speed up the player. I can even do some manual annotation. So, for example, if I will think that this board here is interesting, I can do a manual annotation there, and then I can come back and use this annotation for criminal investigation. Okay? And so let's say we have a match here. So what can I do? I can go to the detail and display this criminal record. So that's it for the video. And please, if you can switch on the presentation. Thank you. The last part that I would like to show you is the DNA and ABIS. What is DNA? DNA is a biologic polymer that carries genetic instruction. But that's one thing. The second thing is that we can use a DNA to identify person in a very unique way. The only thing that doesn't work is identical twins, because they have the same DNA. Otherwise, it's very unique for everybody, every human being on the earth. But we don't use DNA itself directly that possesses genetic information. We just do the analysis of genetic material, and we extract so-called STR, short tandem repeat. It's a repeating chain in the DNA, which is an international standard for DNA profiling, which is used for verification and identification in the world. So even if you are in US, Europe, Asia, it's interoperable. All of them are using the same STRs. What is also interesting is that there was a significant progress in the DNA analysis, and this is not something that Biometrics did. There are other companies which are leader in this domain, and we just use their products. And the one here, it's from the company called Andy. There is another one for Thermo Fisher, I think, is the company, and they provide a so-called rapid DNA analysis. Why this is important? In the past, analyzing DNA was pretty expensive, and it was not even expensive. It took 1 day to do the analysis. It was done in a lab. You can still do it that way, but with this magic machine, which is like of this size, you can analyze multiple samples. It looks like an oven. So you put the things inside, and in 2 hours you get STR, and you can use it for DNA identification. The cost, I don't know how much is the device. It's not cheap, definitely, but it's much cheaper than equip a lab and do the lab testing. And also one analysis can cost like 100, 200 US dollars. So instead of maybe 1,000, which will be the cost in the lab. So what DNA is good for? You can use it for identification of dead bodies. You can do identification of infants. Maybe you don't know that, but it's quite difficult to identify infants with the fingerprints. So DNA is the way which will definitely work. Then you can do relationship analysis. So the most common is if you want to check if you are the father or not. Then you can use it for law enforcement. Crime scene investigation. Very often you have a body fluids on the crime scene, so you can extract the DNA from body fluids and you can use it to convict the suspect. And also you can use it for immigration purposes. Nowadays, especially in Europe, we have so-called immigration crisis. And what is happening very often is that there is one family member which is somehow getting in. He got a permit. And then there are other family members, especially minors, applying for a so-called family reunification. Because there is a rule that once you have a permit, you can get your children in. But it's quite difficult to prove the parenthood. So the DNA is the way how to do that. So family reunification, verification of the claimed relationship is one of the most common use cases. How does it work in ABIS? So yes, of course, there is an API. So there is an interface which will allow you to upload or download the DNA information. It's interoperable, so you can exchange it with other systems. This is very important. And this is how it looks like. So that's the outcome of the machine, and this is the representation of the DNA in the system. It's just the list of number pairs. Yeah? One is from the father, and the other is from the mother. So we need from 14 to 27 pairs. It depends on the standard. This is the number which is in generally used. So now I will show you a demo how it works in the ABIS. So if you can please show me the demo. I have one criminal here which possesses a DNA information. Yeah, this one. So let's have a look. So what we have here? Oh, here we have 14 pairs of DNA. So I will search by DNA. What I will get? So I will search in my whole database. I will change the rules so that I will get any DNA relationship, or I can define which relationship I'm looking for, but I would like to get all of them. So now I can see that I have here the identity, and I also have a parent-child relationship, because you can see that there is just one side which is matching, or a cousin where we have only a partial match. Of course, there might be a probability which will tell you, okay, this is a high probability that those two are cousins. So that's it for the DNA, and thank you. That's all for me for the criminal ABIS demo.